Today we have Ashok Myneni sir from USA to share his wisdom and energies with us. Mr. Ashok Myneni is hailing from India, is currently living in Atlanta, Georgia with his wife, two sons and daughter-in-law. He received his master degree from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore in the year 1992. Mr. Ashok shifted to USA in the year 1997 from India as a technical developer in HCM space. As career progressed, Ashok transitioned into several technology management roles, most recently as a HCM manager at Grady Health Systems. He started his meditational journey since January 2020 and saw vast transformation in his personal and professional life. He dedicated himself for helping him and the people around him by sharing spiritual knowledge gained through Sadguru, GK Sir, and various other gurus, masters, mentors, friends, family, and soul family. He is one of the core volunteer and a facilitator for Spiritual Tablets Research Foundation, USA. A warm welcome to you, sir, to the Oneness Meditation Qatar sessions. Namaste, sir. And various other gurus, masters, mentors, friends, family.
Okay. Yeah. Atma Pranamam to everyone. And masters, this morning, unexpectedly, I have to go to office, so I'm traveling. And if there is any little disturbance, please excuse me and forgive me. And I'm trying my best to give you the best. And because I have to attend a meeting, an important meeting at 10 o'clock at my office, so I'm going. So anyway, thank you, ma'am, for introducing me to the audience. And that's me. And this is Ashok Myneni from Atlanta, USA. So going through my life journey, this is what I wanted to share with you all. So I am from a town background because I'm not a villager or I'm not a city person. I lived all my life in a town. It's not a village or it's not in a city. So I grew up in that village when I went through all my childhood. And I would like to convey my gratitude to all my gurus. First of all, I convey my gratitude to myself, and which is me as a first guru for myself, and then my mother, my father, and then my siblings, my friends and teachers and mentors, and then actually I have so many other people joined with me in my parampara, which is soul family and close friends. And I do have those 4 friends that I can count on anytime in my life. And they always resonate to me. And I am very grateful to them. And especially to GK Sir and the spiritual tablets and all the other masters who taught me the wisdom. Thank you very much. And my gratitude to all of them. So my childhood, when I'm growing. So that's where my beliefs has been came from because when I'm growing up with my siblings and my father, mother, and my relatives and my friends, and I have so many beliefs that I have developed and which has become like my traits. Okay, and now because that's what I used to believe in, but now after coming into spirituality, I know now what is soul and what is soul planning and soul contracts and all that stuff, how the soul comes onto the planet Earth. So I changed my perspective of understanding my life and what I went through. And earlier I used to curse on certain things which has happened in my life. But now I feel very strongly that there's all situations happened and which has been created for me to learn from every situation. So that is how actually I'm pursuing myself. So I'm not going to go through each and everything that what happened in my life, but there are so many up and downs and so much I have seen in my life and at the childhood, at the adulthood. And when I went into college, engineering, because by the time actually I'm like 18 years old, and I know what is family means and what is the family responsibilities are, and how you are going to behave, and with respect to certain ethical values that what you are going to grow up with and what you are going to adopt to. So that is standing me as me, and my traits are like when I am looking back and looking at it, and I am a very angry person. So I used to get anger very quickly, and I'm very short-tempered. And then I used to take, when I'm looking back now, I used to take very impulsive decisions. So whether that caused problems for me, but it has caused so many pains and sufferings for people around me. So that's things that I can talk about myself. That ego thing and anger or frustrations. And I felt that I don't have jealousy at any point of time in my life. But when I started looking inwards through my journey, then I felt, yeah, there is some jealousy. There is some other traits that I need to work on. So that's what I figured out. Okay, so that is how the journey started, and I went through. I never been a pure spiritual person. My father wants me to join an engineering college there in Maharashtra, because so he wants me to join. So we went there. Then we visited Shirdi temple. So that is the first time I am so much attached to Sai Baba, and from that time onwards, I became. I don't want to say as a devotee or something, but I am a very good student for him. So I felt him as my guru, as my mentor, as my friend, as my brother, as my whatnot, everything for me. Okay. I can fight with him, I can talk to him, and I can do whatever I wanted to do with him. So that is the freedom that the guru has given to me. That is what my understanding about my guru is, and my friend, and whatnot, everything. So by going through, when it started, then I used to pray him, and my mother gave me a small necklace, and there actually I put, after the marriage, I put Sai Baba in there, and I used to wear that one for like last 35 years or 40 years. But after I came into spirituality, then I came to know that this chanting and idol worship and all that stuff is not a good phenomena. So I believed in it, and I taken it out, and I never wore that because my mom gave it to me, and it is very close to my heart, because I'm one of the other traits. I'm very sensitive, and I'm very emotional. So I really don't want to take it out, but after hearing to a lot of wisdom and a lot of gurus and all that stuff, then I felt like it is not for me, because I used to wear a Rudraksha, and I am not wearing anymore, and from the last 2 years. So that has given me a lot of perspective. Okay, so that is about going through my life and my life journey, because when I got married to my wife, Kavita, and we have 2 kids, and see, at home, my name is Ashok, no? Because I acted like an Ashok, so like a king at home. So there is only one saying. There is no other sayings twice or thrice at home. So they need to follow. So no matter what, when I say something, then that needs to be assassinated at home. And that is how actually I was raised with my father, because we used to be very, very frightened with our father, because when he's coming like an half a kilometer away, because he used to have that Java, and we used to hear that sound, and as soon as he is coming, then we used to go to sleep, or we used to act like sleeping, and when he is in one room, and then we go to the other rooms, and when he comes to this room, then we go to the other room. So that is how actually we raised until like 12th grade. And after 12th grade, actually things has been changed, because I got my freedom, and I was thinking about as myself, why do I need to fear about him, and slowly it vanished. But that is in a different direction. So when I'm going through that phenomena for raising the kids, I don't have any specific parenting that needs to happen, but because of the beliefs that I have developed, and I raised my kids in such a way that they have to listen to me, I never listen to them. And one of the other thing that I need to touch here is the emotions or the feelings. Okay. So I do have all those emotions, all those feelings, and I do love people, and that is one of my strong trait, and I always be with friends, and I always be with people, because I don't want to be alone at any point of time, at any given point of time. So I've been with people all the time in my life, even till today. So when I am actually going through that, even all my friends used to say me that you always dictate, you always command, or you always want to be in that leadership or something, and all that stuff. So I never thought about it, but I was just giving my best to the friends and everyone. That is what I thought, but I never felt going into the other person's shoes and see that what is happening with them, because they are with you, they are around with you, and whether it is your wife, whether it is your kids, doesn't matter, your parents or your siblings. So I never been into that level of understanding to understand about the other people or the systems or the processes. So I used to just understand about myself, and this is what I am giving, this is the best I am giving, and this is what I wanted to give, and I wanted to do, I wanted to go with. That's all. So slowly, that is the phenomena going at home. And my wife is keep telling me that Ashok, you need to change. Kids are growing. I have 2 boys. So when I don't drink much, but I used to occasionally drink with friends and all that stuff. And whenever I'm doing that, my wife does not like it. I don't smoke. And so my wife used to ask me that you have 2 boys, and they are raising, and they are growing, and they live it to us, because they see you every day, they see me every day, they live and they develop that. Because I did not understand that phenomena at all when my wife has been telling me. She is not a spiritual person though, but she reads a lot and she watches a lot and all that stuff. She used to tell me all the time. I never listened to her. So while kids are growing, and the pains are been increasing, and every day I know that I'm traveling. I go on Monday and come back on Thursdays and to home, and by the time I come home, then the same phenomena has been repeating at home. From Monday morning to Thursday evening, those 3 souls are so free, so independent, and they are just bubbling and joyful and all that stuff. As soon as I step my leg into home, there is a what we can say, completely pin drop silence, and nothing to be like joy and help, because they used to fear. They are living in fear. What he's going to say, what he's going to do. And when I ask my son that, did you do your homework? That is the first thing I used to ask him, because when I go home, then when I see my wife and kids, I never hug them. I never said, I love you. I never did that, because, and even with the kids also, okay, that is fine with the wife, but at least with the kids, they are your biological child. And I never did that, but I have such a love, because I never showed my expressions to them. That is one of the very weak quality in me, and which has caused a lot of problems. And my wife used to tell me that you love so much and you do everything for the kids and me. And because when we came into this country, USA, in 1997, my wife is much intelligent than me, and my wife is much, she does a lot of hard work. But we chose, she has to be at home and taking care of the kids. And that time, actually, we have only 1 kid, so, and myself. And she stayed on that word until today, because we have been here from 25 years, and she never asked me that she wants to go to work. She never, ever asked me, but she has done a beautiful, phenomenal job raising me and raising kids, and that has been given tremendous results. So while going through this journey in 2008, actually, I realized there is something wrong with me, because my wife has been keep telling me from 1992, and that is like 16 years, and I have never listened to her. And then in 2008, there are a few things happened in my life, and those things has taught me lessons. So what am I doing? So there is something wrong that what I am doing. That is the first time I felt. So that's when actually my journey has been started, and I gave freedom to my kids. And my second son actually completing his middle school, or he's in the middle school. So we decided that we don't want to give him any kind of stress, or let him go, let him swim, let him do whatever he wants to do, let him decide what he wants to do. So that's what continued. And young elder son has been into college, and he did his college, and he has his experiences, and we learned a lot through that, and as a parents, and the second son and the first son, they both are very happy. But the journey from 2008 to till today, it's been like learning. So, but never been into spirituality. So my doctor, actually my family doctor, has been keep requesting me and my wife, "Oh, why don't you guys go to meditation? Why don't you guys go to meditation?" So I heard about meditation, but I never did meditation, because once in college, in my engineering college, Pattabram sir came in and he did the hypnotism. That is the only one time I felt like I went into a trance. That's all. Other than that, I have never been. But my Peddamma and my mother used to sit in the puja and they used to do japam. I don't know what kind of japam they used to do, but they used to do. So I never been into that. And I used to sit with my Peddamma a lot, because not with my mom, but my Peddamma, they have like two daughters, and I'm the only son for two brothers. So I've been kept as special for them. They raised me so much with compassion and love. My Peddamma gave me so much, and she is a very spiritual person. Even my mom is a very spiritual person from the beginning, but I learned a lot from my Peddamma. So while going through that journey of 2008 to 2019, it was a roller coaster ride for me, completely roller coaster ride. So going up and down, and there is so much of agony with the health and with the work and the professional career and the financial career, and there is so much going on. So in 2019, one day, Sheetal Pawar, who is one of the great master here in Atlanta, took 10 minutes of meditation for my wife and her friends. And she came back home and she said that, "Ashok, we are going to do meditation from going forward." And I said, "Yes, okay." Because I said, yes, because I know that this doctor has been asking us to go to meditation and our yoga from such a long time. And we did yoga for some time, but for some reason I quit. So then I said, yeah, okay, this is going to help my wife, because I never thought that it is going to help me, because I was never been admitting myself purely that I have all these problems and which needs to be corrected. So I don't want to call it as problems, because Sadguru always said that don't ever call anything as an issue or a problem. Just call it as a situation, and every situation is going to teach you something to learn. So that is how you need to connect yourself. So we started the journey in 2020 January, and the first day we went, and they just made us to sit 1 hour in meditation without, we don't even have a clue that what is the poster means, what is the Anapanasati means, and how to do this and all that stuff. They just told in 2 minutes, Srikant sir and Anila Garla madam's house. So we went there and they taught us just to sit like, put it in the poster of Anapanasati, and then just observe your breath, inhale and exhale, and just focus on it. And whenever your thought goes somewhere, then bring it back and focus on observe your inhale and exhale. That's all. And we did the 1 hour. So it was so good. And the second day, when we went to, again, Srikant's house or Sirisha Pamadi's house, they are talking about vegetarianism. I felt so happy listening to that, and somehow I thought that this is not for me, and I stopped. I quit. I said to my wife that I'm quitting. So the third day when I came into meditation, that's what I felt like, and I resonated, and I just said that I don't want to eat non-veg anymore. So I took a conscious decision. Okay. So and then after 2 months, the COVID hit, and we stopped physical meditation classes at homes, and we started Zoom classes. And in the month of March ending, and we started having the big rise in COVID, and I was hit by COVID, and in April I was in the hospital for 9 days, and that is one of the life-changing moment for me when I was being taken to the hospital. Okay, nobody can touch me at home, and I could not able to walk, and I was upstairs, and I need to come downstairs 19 stairs, and that took me like 22 minutes for me to crawl down. And nobody can not help me, because if they touch and they are going to get it. So that's why. And even the ambulance people, they don't want to come inside. They wanted to take me from outside. So I have to come outside from the front door, and they can take me from there, but they don't want to come inside. So I went through that phenomena. So I went into the hospital and joined, and I was on the bed, and they gave me some fluids and all that stuff, and in the ICU, and they put me not the ventilator, but they put me oxygen. So that is the first time I felt like, what if something happens to me? did I teach my kids and my wife they can live the life because I'm they are they are going to be very happy with whatever we have for the rest of the life. That is not the thing. But my wife is so dependent on her father until she got married, and after marriage, I pampered and I did the same thing, and she is completely dependent on me. Until today, I have 30 years, and I have given my account. I have only one account, and I gave the password and user ID. She never goes in there, and she never even pays any attention to where the money is coming, where the money is going. Doesn't matter. Okay. But I learned a lot in these few years, in the last 2 years, about how to manage people and how to do the expectations to live in and all of that stuff. So when I started with the journey of meditation, okay, so I started with local meditation classes. Once the classes has been over, then I was being introduced to Buddha CEO. So with Chandra Pulmarasetti sir. So I have attended 5 40-day sessions with him, and he is one of a great teacher. And I learned a lot. And I was going through that phenomena, and I was started looking backwards and to my journey and my life and everything, and I started adopting some of the concepts of what I'm liking, like forgiveness and gratitude. So while going through the journey, so I have a very close friend of mine who is my soul sister, who I can call, and she is from Vizag, and she is a great master. And I did not know that she's that big of a master, but nobody knows about it too. And when we are talking, and I just told about that I'm going through this path, and she asked me a couple of questions related to these things, and I don't know how to answer, but I answered. But she told me that Ashok, I want to teach you 2 things. Okay, do this, and please make sure that this exercise, if you have never done that, and you need to do this. Why I did those exercises are because she wants me to find out the time for me to spend for myself. Okay, so because everybody says that I am busy, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. That is the excuses that what we make for not doing either meditation or yoga or whatever the thing that what we wanted to do. So if we wanted to escape from those things, then always you look for opportunities to say something. Yes, because we don't want to. Then she told me, take a paper and write down all the activity from the morning that you woke up until you go to the bed. Every single activity, whatever you can remember, or you just need to, because every minute by minute it is not required, but the major activities like you are going to be, whatever you do in the morning and morning routines, and then once you start your work, professional work, or at home, or what you do and what you observe, and what you observe means TV and all of that stuff. Then you are going to spend a lot of time on your phone, whether that is talking or browsing through the internet or chit-chatting on the whatever things are on the Instagram or whatever it is, So I just felt like, why you are asking me to do this? No, just go do it and let me know what are all the things that comes up. Then she told me that you need to do it for 1 week, not for 1 day. So I said, let me do for 1 day and let me see. Then I did that exercise, and she told me that as you are going through that, Ashok, you have to cross out certain tasks that you really don't want it to continue with. So means then I figured out, oh, okay, this is how actually she is teaching me that I need to cross out the task that is been not required in my life anymore, which I don't want it to spend time to waste. That time can be converted to yourself, not for anything else. So when I looked into that task list, then I crossed out certain things. And that day onwards, I never read newspapers like Inadu and the Andhra Jyoti. And I used to see Great Andhra for gossiping and all that stuff. So I stopped it because it took me like 1.5 hours to 2 hours, because I need to read all political things, and I need to read all cities and news and about political people, about the this and that, whatnot, everything. So that is the first thing. Then I looked into myself, and which is the other next best thing which can reduce my time is spending time on the phone. So I crossed out that. Then it has given me, then I was actually having certain things that I crossed out. And when I crossed out all that stuff, you don't believe that I have like 6 hours of daily time in my hand. that is the time that I'm wasting. Because you go to sleep, because I used to have like 8 years solid sleep. Now I came to only 5 to 6 hours. Nowadays, actually, I don't sleep more than 5 to 6 hours. When I crossed out all that, and then when I looked at 6 hours, then what do I need to do with these 6 hours? Because I'm not a book reader. Then I adopted listening to people, because I have this listening habit from a childhood, because I don't read much, but I listen to teachers and I listen to everyone. So I started listening Sadguru from 12 years back. As of today, from 12 years back. He is one of the first gurus in my spiritual path, and which I agreed now, because I used to listen to him. And then Chaganti Koteswararu, and I like him so much, and I used to listen to him while I am going to the office or coming back from the office. So I used to listen to him a lot. So while going through this whole thing, then the second thing that she told me is, Ashok, you need to do this exercise of your birth to now, all the situations that has been happened to you, whether it is happy moments or whether it is any other side of the coin. So please note it down, and also note down every single character that is going to be involved in that situation. Whatever you remember. If you don't remember, then you just need to say that I did not remember that face or that name or something. So I went through, and she told me that you need to do it in 2-3 days. You are not supposed to take more than that. So I said, can I take 1 week? She said that, okay. So I took like 2 days, and I just sat in my meditation. After that, then I have a clean mind, and I started writing. It came like 60 or 70, in between 60 and 70 situations that has been impacted in my life, which are very happy moments and very sad moments and all that stuff. So I have so many people that has come across that I have given suffering and pain, and the people has given me suffering and pain. So by the time, actually, I am very big in forgiveness and gratitude, because the way that it has been taught, and I was so close to that forgiveness and gratitude. So she taught me that this is how actually you need to apply your forgiveness, because when you are going to find out the people that they are going to suffered or pain or went through the pain and suffering because of your actions, so you need to request them to forgiveness. Okay, and at the same time, if the people, whoever has been given pain and suffering, so you just need to forgive them. So that is exactly what I did for several months, because that is one of the things that I learned from Chandrapurmara Sethi sir. Because you are not supposed to request forgiveness just for one time. No, you have to keep on requesting that, and you have to keep on sending your forgiveness to the other people until you feel that person has been forgiven you. Because one day, definitely, you are going to feel that the other person has been forgiven you. That is the time that you are being liberated from that guilt or whatever the things are. So that is the beauty that I have been learned on the forgiveness and gratitude. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about is in while going through that, then I've been introduced to GK sir in 2020 October or November. So we had a beautiful chat after that, and sir requested that can we have a chapter to be started in USA, and I would like to give a workshop. So I said, why not? So we conducted a workshop. There are 120 people or 130 people attended to that workshop, and he immediately said that we are going to start L1 program, which is a training program for spiritual tablets counselors to prepare the counseling them to be counselors, because we do healing services. So for the patient gods, so whoever has any kind of an illness, and if they can join and register to the spiritual tablets, and we provide the spiritual healing services. So what is that services? It's nothing but actually training you to understand about yourself, because this is the beauty of the spiritual tablets and what it has been given to me, because I'm not going to talk about anybody else, but I'm going to talk about myself, what spiritual tablets have taught me. So when I'm going through this journey, then it taught me that how you are going to look at your inner self, or how you are going to know about yourself more. Even when you go and read Ramana Maharshi, who am I? He is going to talk about external and internal, because if you are going to be living in an external world, which is nothing but your materialistic world, so you are not going to manage the balance between your materialistic world and spiritual world. And if you are not into that middle path, then you are going to be either one side, because that is going to give you a lot of lot of situations which are going to be painful and for you to go through the journey. So while I'm going through this, then I realized that there is some things that I need to look at myself because I really don't want to. Then I have created immediately my own formula. This is my formula. I don't, because even though I listen to all the people, all the gurus and everything, because always I look for myself and I teach myself. So the 5-point formula that I have created to myself is one is the judgment. Okay, you are not supposed to judge, but that is going to happen. We are going to talk about in 2 minutes, and that is my last topic. And then your assumptions, because you are going to live in assumptions in a lot. Okay, and the third thing is gossiping, and the fourth thing is complaining, and the fifth thing is criticism. So these 5 things which I've been adopting to myself, because that is what I learned in the whole spiritual tablets. These are all the things which every tablet is going to point towards somehow or other into these qualities. Because while I'm going through that, you have the 5 sensory organs. So one is eye and nose and ear, tongue and touch and skin. Yes. So when you are looking into these 5 sensory organs and the 5 points that I just mentioned, when you are judging, what you are judging through all the 5 sensory organs. So we cannot stop judging because it is going to come. Then how you are going to stop judging? Then you are going to be consciously aware of your present state. So if you are going to be in the consciously awareness of the present state, then you automatically, you know what is the kind of a thought it is coming, and from the thought, what it is going to generate in the emotions, and what emotions are going to generate the feelings, and what feelings are going to generate the actions. Because if you are not going to be in the present state, and if you are not going to be consciously aware, you cannot even think about all this stuff, because that's what it is. Because the recent experience that I had is a beautiful experience when I went to one of the conference on July 4th to Washington, D.C. to attend and represent spiritual tablets there in Washington, D.C. And I met Sadguru. When I met, because this is something that I have been manifesting from last 2 years, because whenever I am going to see him physically, I will get an opportunity to at least meet him in a reasonable distance, and I wanted to say my namaskaram to him. So exactly that is what happened in that ATA conference, and I have an opportunity to meet him. And I said, Sadguru, namaskaram andi, and he said, namaskaram, meeku kuda namaskaram andi. And then I felt so happy and so vibrated and everything. And there are a few other things has happened in that conference, and which has been opened up, and I patted my back, and literally I felt that I am on my path. So these sensory organs, when you are actually watching something, then you are going to feel something, and when you are going to feel something, then the actions is going to come. But when you are going to stop at the time that you are going to get a thought, rather than going into emotions and feelings and actions, then that's what the sadhana is. How is that sadhana is going to come? Only through meditation. So this is how actually I'm linking myself to teach to someone about their journey of life, because I always now feel, because GK sir, when I am struggling 2 months back, I approached him, and I approached several masters, and I have a huge spiritual family, and where I approach to, and I listen to them, and all the time. And I have now people who is helping me to understand about the phenomena that I am going through, or when I am sharing and when I am experiencing these things. So when I started looking inwards, that time actually GK sir told me that, Ashok, there are only 2 things. One is you have to catch your internal feel. So I didn't understand what internal feel is on that time when sir told me. So that is nothing but you have to listen to your heart. What is listening to your heart? Nothing but you are listening to your soul, because the soul is going to communicate through your heart, and your mind wanders in different way and gives you the directions in different direction. But if you are going to start listening to your heart, that's where actually you are in the right path and right direction, and you are going to take the conscious decisions, because you are not going to take any more impulsive decisions, because you are going to be in the present state, you are going to be aware, and you are going to give that thought. So whenever there is a thought is going to be generated, for everything is starting is thought and thought and thought, nothing else. Because if we are not going to catch hold of that thought, then thought is going to take you to a lot of different la la lands. It is going to take you from here to there, there to there, there to there, and you never know where it is going to end up with. So when we are going to do the sadhana of meditation, and then the concepts that what you are learning, and if you are going to apply that one to identify your traits, and if you are going to prioritize them and work on them, then you are going to one day you are going to have a control on your thoughts. So once you have the control on your thoughts, then the next thing, then that next thing will start. So means that the spiritual evolution and ascension is going to start for you. That how you are going to be more of a consciously aware of things, and how you are going to treat your life, because that's where actually I felt that my universal oneness concept, which I learned, is been applying now. Because when I'm talking to all the people, I can see myself in them. So nowadays, I feel that when I'm talking to someone, because if I don't preach and if I don't follow, then I don't want to give them any more suggestions, because that is what I strongly felt after Atta Convention. Because I myself has taken some conscious decisions, and that is the commitments to myself, but I'm not following. So I decided from the last 3-4 weeks, I know that how much agony I'm going through. It's not agony, but I'm trying to understand myself. Because why I cannot stand on my commitments, why I cannot do things as I wish to do. So then I found my answers, because I have my answers. What is that means actually is when you are going to take a conscious decision for yourself, unless and until you can do that, don't take it. You wait. Nobody is not going to beat you now. Nobody is not going to throw you out of the world. So you can wait until you feel so to do the thing that you wanted to take the decision or a commitment to yourself. Then you give the commitment to yourself. Once you give the commitment, don't turn back. If you are going to turn back, or if you are going to take a U-turn, then you are going to be, you can actually feel that pain and suffering, because I went through that. Because in last year, November to December to January and February, those 4 months, I was out of myself, and I used to practice meditation a lot, and I stopped practicing meditation, and I'm just going on and off, because I'm excusing myself, because I'm working so much, I'm working on this, working on that, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Then my blood pressure went up to 160 to 165 for 2 months. I don't even have a clue that when they have done every single test that what they have, the CT scan, MRI, and everything into my body. They did not find anything, not even one thing to give me medication. So that is nothing but just you are going through some kind of a stress, because you are actually doing some meditation. Your body has been habituated to certain things, and to now, from earlier to now, but all of a sudden you stopped it, and then body not able to take it, and it is started reacting. So that is what you need to do, because when you committed, you commit and do that. When you start doing meditation for 30 minutes, do 30 minutes. When you can do 35 minutes, you do 35 minutes. When you do 1 hour, do 1 hour. And once you do 1 hour, don't go back to 10 minutes and 15 minutes. Because try to be with yourself and see that what is the commitment that you can give. Don't overstretch yourself, because this is what I train all my facilitators and all my trainers and all my team members, and I tell them all the time that to look at yourself, look at your plate, and see that what is the bandwidth that you have before you give the commitment. Because see, it doesn't matter whether it is GK sir or Ashok sir or Chandra sir or Ravali madam or Lakshmi madam, doesn't matter. These are all the people who are facilitators here in USA. But when they come and ask you, if you don't have the bandwidth, you don't have the bandwidth. You don't need to say okay and you struggle, because that's what we do. When a master comes and asks, doesn't matter who that is, whether GK sir, doesn't matter. So you just look at yourself and see that whether you have the bandwidth or not, and then you commit to yourself and you tell them that I'm going to do it. When you are going to commit, you have to do it. So before you make a decision, you have to consciously look into yourself above and beyond, see that whether you can make it or not. Okay, so this is one of the other things that I would like to tell you guys. And then finally, this is the best thing that everybody can do. So those 4 people has to be in your life. Okay, and I told you in the beginning that I never shared my emotions with anyone, not even with my wife. That is one of my very bad quality that I kept with myself, and I know that how much damage that has been done to myself. But it has given me a beautiful learning through those, even when I'm not sharing my feelings and all that stuff, I lost my love and affection from my kids, but my kids are so grateful that they come and hug me, they stay on top of me, and even my son is like heavy, but I feel like now he's a boy for me anyway. I feel like he's still a kid, and when he comes and stay on top of me, then I will never say just I feel heavyweight and all that. No, because I wanted to feel that, because I never did that experience. I did not went because I have not given that opportunity for him to come and hug me or stay on top of me or play with me and all that stuff. Now my kids are very close to me, and still I'm working on it, and I'm working with my wife, and thank you to this whole family. And I really wanted to tell you this, because if you cannot express your feelings to your near and dear, you need to find out somebody who you can work with, because whether that someone is your wife or a husband or a kid or a friend or a soul family person or a soulmate, doesn't matter. No matter what, you need to find out a person to vent out your emotions, your feelings. Then, but the person who you choose, they need to listen to you as is. They are not supposed to judge you. They are not supposed to assume anything on those. You need to find out such a person in your life, and your life is going to become so green. And you cannot even, because that's what I've been transformed from the last couple of months. I know that what I am going through with my wife and my kids and all of that stuff, how I'm opening up myself, and because I'm trying to correct myself, not my wife and all, because my wife is correct all her time in her way, and my kids are always right in their way. But am I right? No. Am I giving them the space? No, because that is what I'm creating now. So when I created that space and that love and affection, compassion, and everything, whatever you are talking about, and I am having a beautiful life again back into my life. And it is going to be a beautiful learning for the rest of the life. And I can keep learning. I am going to be a student for every minute of my journey. And finally, I wanted to pay my gratitude to my sincere spiritual tablets team and the spiritual tablets guru, JK sir, and foremost my divine guru, who is Sai Baba, and my Sadguru, who has been teaching, taught me so many things, and even Chandra Pulmara Sethi sir. And there are so many I can, Chandra sir, Chandra Mudali sir, and Lakshmi Lakade ma'am, and Dr. Ravali ma'am, and Naina ji, and Gayatri ma'am, and Sri Lata ma'am. There are so many people like Swarna ma'am, and Madhavi Asangi ma'am, and Neeta ma'am, and Ramya ma'am. There are so many people that who is been teaching me so much on every single day, and people, just to open up your mind. Open mind is always a good thing to learn, and once you open up yourself, and once you are being so close to listening to your heart, and you can make conscious decisions, and you can stay on top of it. And my last thing is the commitment and decisions, that what you take, you just look inwards and always go through your inward journey. Learn about yourself and see whether you can commit to yourself. Once you are committed, don't ever go back on the commitments. So that is one of the things. So thank you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Ramya ma'am, and for coming forward with the Qatar team. And thank you, and thank you for patiently listening to my journey. And thank you all. And
yeah, thank you so much, sir, Ashok sir. It's very wonderful sharing, sir, for Qatar people here. So many gratitudes to you, sir.
thank you.
And thank you from Oneness Meditation Qatar.
Yeah, thank you. If you guys are going into the meditation, then I can log off, because I am very close to my office to step in. So if anyone has a question, I can answer. If not, then I would like to take a leave.
Friends, if anybody has any questions, can you please ask?
Ramya madam, you can go ahead with your meditation class. Then let me take a leave, and everyone, pranamam to all of you, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to come in front of you and share my journey. And thank you all. Be blessed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah,
We will start with meditation.
yeah. Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'll play the music.
Yes, yes.
Master, now you can meditate. Peacefully, close your eyes, clasp your hands, cross your legs, sit in a comfortable position, and observe your normal, natural breath. This is the normal, natural breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes, masters, by rubbing your hands, placing it on your eyes. You can have a sip of water if you have it next to you. Yes, masters, if you have anything to share, you can go ahead regarding meditation, or we'll end the session now. Thanks to all masters for attending today's session. We'll end the session now. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Sindhu, and thank you everyone for joining the session. Thank you.